Welcome to the Pineapple Pinup, the Hot Wife Life. On today's episode, I talk about the two parties that we were supposed to go to that we didn't actually go to, and then a meetup with my bull. And then I read an email from a listener about chastity. And then I read an email from a listener about the apps in Southern California. And that's a question that I need you guys to answer. And then I read a message about describing myself. And then I give you a description of me. Please, if you have any questions or you'd like me something to go out to my listeners, please don't hesitate to send me an email at pineapplepinuppod@gmail.com or hit me up on my socials. I did the thing you're never supposed to do. I told the universe my plans, and then the universe found a way to take them away. This is not unusual, but the ways that these kind of fell apart is interesting. So we had a party set there was a party going on the 14th and the 15th, and we were planning to go on the 15th. It was a hotel party, and it was like a 2-night event. My husband found the party to begin with, and it had originally been the weekend before, and then it got moved. And so we decided that we were going to go, and he had some reservations. So the week before we were scheduled to go to the rescheduled party, my husband was like, I don't know. I think you should take a look at it. So I went in and I read through the rules. And the very first rule was by 9:30, everyone has to be dressed down, not street legal, naked or sexy, like lingerie. Lingerie or underwear or something like that. And by 10:30, anyone who's not playing will have to leave. If you don't play, you can't be there. And his reasoning behind that was, this is an active play party. Don't come if you're not going to play. This gets murky for me. This is the height of peer pressure. This is the height of non-consent consent. Okay? This is the height of, I'm being told if I don't consent, I can't be part of the group. And in this particular situation, my husband, who does not play, what's the deal there? Like, he doesn't play for reasons, and he goes there to accompany me, but I always play. So where's the leeway there? And my husband had reached out to him and explained our dynamic. And the guy said, yeah, absolutely. You guys can come. That's no problem. You don't feel need to feel weird about that, blah, blah, blah. But as we read over the rules were very specific, and they didn't say just the women had to play. They didn't say just the men had to play. The thing is that when you put ultimatums out there, you're going to get people who will not respond well to ultimatums. I don't feel comfortable when people feel like they have to do something to be included. I don't feel like that's proper consent. So anybody who's coming is feeling very put on the spot to actually play. Now, if I had known this man or known of his parties and been to his parties before, and we had a camaraderie, I might be a little different about the wording of what he put on there. But because of the fact that I have a very specific dynamic with my husband. And for all of you who think that I keep him from playing, that's not the case. He's got his own reasons for why he doesn't play, and those are his reasons, not mine. So, if he wanted to play, that would be fine with me. I just want to put that out there because I get a lot of comments about the fact that obviously I'm jealous and blah blah. Anyway, not the point. The point is that I have a certain dynamic with my husband. We have a certain dynamic that we play within. And for that to be something that is not going to be allowed, and if it is allowed, it's going to look weird on us, like we're not following the rules. And so, as you may be aware by now, I'm a huge, huge advocate for consent. Consent from every stage of the process. Knowing that you yourself want to play, knowing that your your partner wants to play, knowing that everybody's on board, and knowing that when I do play, I'm not going to get any backlash because I did play. Another very important piece of it. If you give consent for somebody to go and play at a party and then you take it away afterwards, that makes you the bad guy. Sorry, it just does. If you were expecting them to fuck one person and then they fucked seven, not your business. You agreed to go to a play party and have fun at a play party. And if this is my idea of fun, seven fucking bodies on my body count, guess what, baby? That's my idea of fun. And that's what I went to have. So, anyway, sorry, I'm still stuck in a loop on that one particular individual who, anyway, not the point. Here is the point though. We didn't go to that party because it just felt very demanding. It felt very, because there are times when the vibe is just freaking off. And believe me, I went to a party recently where the vibe was just freaking off. And it was very hard for me to get to the point where I could play. So, and then I ended up leaving very, very early, and it ended up causing some riffling with my husband. But that's not the point either. The point is that when you're throwing these parties, you have to be prepared for people not to be actively participating. You have to be prepared for that because there are times when things don't feel right. And if they don't feel right, then you shouldn't be forced into an activity that you're not going to you're not going to feel good about later. Okay. That was the first party. The second party was supposed to be the 21st and 22nd, and it was a hotel party and it was a takeover. And I was freaking excited about this because it was going to be crazy. It was going to be an entire hotel room, an entire hotel of people in the lifestyle, doing lifestyle things. And there were supposed to be over 900 people going. And I was so flippin' excited. And then it got postponed. Days before, it just poof, went away. I've already paid for it. I have no idea when it's going to be rescheduled for. I don't know if I'm even going to be available to come when it's rescheduled for. So that is TBD. But I was so excited about that particular party, that particular 48-hour orgy in a not far away place, but a drive away place where I could meet hundreds of people from all over the place in the lifestyle and possibly create new friends that we could go and visit, new friends that we could go and see, new friends that we could meet up with at, I don't know, somewhere, some other hotel takeover. It was going to be so incredibly awesome. And then it just went away. So I was not super happy about that. But silver lining, I got a call from my bull and he wanted to come over. And I said, absolutely, I'll see you at 4. So he came over and we fucked. And I don't mean we did a little missionary. I mean, we went blowjob, reverse cowgirl, like doggy, flat, like we were all over the place and we were all over each other and we were in the mood to do some fucking. And I had the most outrageously awesome orgasm. It was great. I used my toy. I used my Hitachi wand because toy for me has many, many connotations. I used my Hitachi wand and it was fabulous. We fucked for like an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and we chatted and we had so much fun. So the weekend was not a complete bust, but there is something going on that is making me have to reconsider the situation that I'm currently in. This is going to sound very weird. I am having to reconsider whether I'm back on the hunt for another bull because he and I have not been able to test simultaneously and get to the point where we can go condom free. And the fact is that I do go condom free after testing with only one person at a time. And that's the extent of my willingness to play in that field. And it's because of the fact that there has to be a mutual trust there where I'm the only one you're playing with condom free and you're the only one I'm playing with condom free. And it gives us that sort of hall pass. We're tested, we're clean, we're ready to go. So that one, we just haven't been able to get there. And it's one of the things that my husband and I have really been trying to get to. We're trying to get to the point where we can play exclusively condom free with one person and make that a commitment so that my husband can do cut, clean up, and all that other stuff that he really does enjoy doing. So I may be on the hunt, but I'm not 100% sure. I am holding auditions at a party this weekend. My husband and I are holding a local event, and it's literally just me and however many guys I figure I can get to come. And I'm kind of excited about it. I'm actually very excited about it. This is the kind of event that pushes a woman to be the right level of performative. And I'm not talking about acting my way through it. I'm talking about being more vocal because there is a certain dynamic when you're at a play party and there's lots of people playing that you don't necessarily want to crowd their play with your chitter chatter. I unfortunately don't always have that etiquette because I am constantly laying there making jokes, making everyone feel comfortable. And so I know I can be very distracting to other people who are focused on the dick. You know what I'm saying? So I know that when I go to a party where it's just me and I don't really have to worry about intruding on other people, I can be a little bit more vocal, a little bit more demanding, a little bit more jokey, a little bit more me, a little bit more out there and loud about it. Not too loud because I mean, I am still in a hotel. No sense in getting us kicked out, right? Um, so I am very much looking forward to this. I'm very much looking forward to the opportunity to play, explore, possibly find a new bull, possibly find another bull, add to my stable, as it were, add to my roster. Um, but I don't know that even if I do find another bull that I can play exclusive condom free with, that I would give up the current one because I haven't really given up any of them. I still play with most of the guys that um, there is one I've lost touch with, and I should probably reach out and see what he's up to. But those are the ones that I keep going back to because I freaking, I love having a good time with these guys. And each and every one of them has his own gifts and abilities. And I am always jazzed by the differences, the nuances of having sex with these individuals because I know them. We have some intimacy. We have some history that allows us to be a little bit more connected than just a random party. But it is still sex with other people outside my marriage. So, still freaking hot. And each one of them has his own personality and his own creativity and his own things that he does to make me crazy. So, if I added one more, could it even possibly be a bad thing? I got an email from Dave regarding chastity. Um, and I'm just going to read it to you. Hello, Pineapple Pinup. I've been with my wife for 17 years, but she started cucking me about 7 years ago now. However, with me and other men, she is rather vanilla. She's very attractive and knows it, so she lets everyone else do the heavy lifting. Definitely a pillow princess. Shortly after becoming a cuck, I found out about chastity and chastity devices. I don't know what drove me to it initially, but I just knew I had to try it. So I brought it up to my wife. The first couple of conversations with her did not go well. She was concerned about many issues. Will it damage my penis? Will my cock just simply not work anymore? Won't it be noticeable under clothes? However, despite her concerns and persistence from me, we eventually decided to try it. Initially, I had to go through several devices to find one that I could wear comfortably for a long period of time. Once I was comfortable being caged 4 days at a time, she quickly learned how powerful this device was, and a different side of her came out. She started teasing me more and playfully mocking my cock in the cage. To this day, she constantly teases me and makes more of an effort to flirt with or fuck other men when I'm caged. However, the teasing, lack of control, and frustration on my end is incredibly fun. Now, when we do have sex, I enjoy it so much more than before chastity was introduced. The thrill of it, of anticipation of it, when, if and when I will be allowed to have sex or come, is a huge turn on. Previously, if I was horny, I would just masturbate and move on. Now that is not an option. I relish the power she has over me because of the cage. Plus, I find the device comforting and just enjoyable to wear. I am caged most of the time now, and it is part of my life. I couldn't be happier about it. I feel naked without it on, as if this symbol of frustration and submission is a part of me. She has embraced the role as the key holder and is sure to tell her other partners about my cage. I actually enjoy the humiliation of this, knowing that this is helping her find a different side of her one that I don't think even she knew was inside her previously. The cage is also used mostly daily for her to get what she wants. If she needs something, I'm much more attentive to give it to her than I would be without it. For instance, if my wife for instance, my wife loves drinking ice water. So when I am around, I make sure her cup is always full and cold because as much as I love chastity, denial, and the power play of it all, I still love sex and orgasms too. I know that chastity isn't for everyone, but if you and your partner ever begin to explore the idea, you'll find the proper fitting cage. It can lead to a whole new and different set of experiences and emotions. Okay. That is something that my husband and I have talked about. Um, it is nice to know that there is, you have to find the right device. That's probably key number one. Um, the other thing is there's been a lot of talk about the damage that can be done with the chastity. And it doesn't sound like if you're exploring the options that is too much of a factor because it sounds like everything still works properly and everything is still usable. Um, I do not know. I will have to have conversations with my husband about the level of chastity and denial he wants because we have played around the outskirts of that, but we have not really played deep down chastity, denial, and all that stuff. I I don't know if that is something that we want to explore more than we have, but it's always worth a conversation. And if it is something that he decides that he wants, I would be more than happy to develop the role. See if it's something that works for both of us because I do have a lot of problems with humiliating my husband. I don't enjoy it. I don't I don't like it. And it's sort of one of the things that I kind of took off the table almost immediately when we started doing this. I didn't want to be in the bed with another man mocking him because that to me felt like disrespectful and condescension. But that is my own personal problem, my own personal hurdle that is my I've put up a I've put up a boundary. And because of the fact that I don't like the way it makes me feel, and I don't ever want to have contempt for my husband because contempt is the first um it's the un it's the unretrievable. It's the one you can't really come back from. So I don't want that to be something that becomes part of our play. I don't know if there's a way to do chastity in the context of what we're doing without the humiliation. I don't know. It's something that my husband and I are going to have to talk about. And if he's getting a level of humiliation from it and it's not bothering him, but I don't feel like I'm necessarily going out of my way to humiliate him, then maybe that still works within the boundaries. I don't know. It's something that we would have to definitely explore if it's something that's on the table. But there were some very interesting points to your email, and I really appreciate you sending that to me because it kind of gives me a little bit more fuel, a little bit more food, a little bit more to churn on and see if there is something about that particular kink that blends with the kind of kink that we're into currently. Interesting. Hi. Okay. So This is from Envy. Hello, sexy. I stumbled across your podcast a few months back and I was immediately hooked. I love the descriptive narratives of your adventures and life experiences. When I see a new episode posted, I don't play it right away. I tease myself with the thought of it and play it later when I can give you my full attention, savoring each word of your smooth and sexy voice. Thank you for sharing. At some point, you described yourself as a curvy woman and more recently as a BBW. That was such a bonus for me. While my biggest attraction is women between her ears, a girl with curves is a close second. So I'm wondering, could you possibly give us an episode that includes a descriptive tour of your body from the top of your beautiful brain to the end of your tasty toes? Your husband is such a lucky guy. I pray that his health improves and he's able to stay with you for many years to come. Based on your narrative, it sounds like you're a lucky gal to have such a great guy. Um, I think I'm overusing exclamation points in this message, but I'm excited to write it. Um, I'm not going to go into the rest of it because I think I've hit the point where I've got to his question. All right. So I am 50 years old. I just turned 50. I have red hair with a blonde streak. I have brown eyes. Well, brown hazel eyes. They're the color of, never mind. Not going to say it. My husband hates it when I say it. I have uh, a nose and a mouth, obviously. Um, no, I actually have kind of a narrow mouth as it sits on my face. Um, it's not like a super lush mouth or a super wide smile like, say, Julia Roberts. It's more of a Jodie Foster mouth. I have, let's just say it, I have huge tits. They range in size from 44 double G to 42 triple G. Like it's they fluctuate. They are pierced. I keep I change out my nipple rings less often than I used to, but I change out my nipple rings whenever I remember to do it. I have kind of like I have curves along the side. Like I definitely have an hourglass going on that goes to wide hips. And I do have a bit of a belly. The belly has been something that has been growing more recently because of the whole I'm 50 now. Um, guys, menopause is rough on a woman. Anyway, I have wide hips, thunderous thighs, um, cute calves, and then kind of adorable feet. Depends on who you ask. And it depends on if I'm in my Flintstone mode where they just start flattening out. Um, but that's basically me. I am 5'9". I don't really know what I weigh because I don't give a fuck what the number on the scale says because that's not what I'm about. And dieting my entire life has led me to frustration and gaining even more weight. So diet culture is not really for me. Um, I stay healthy, but I'm never going to be a stick. Currently, that is about all there is to know about me. I do have pierced ears. I do wear a necklace, and I wear a necklace all the time. Um, it is not just a nervous habit. It is something that I don't really feel like I'm dressed without something that my husband has given me dangling around my neck. That's just me. And when I break a chain on a necklace, it makes me absolutely nutty, and I have to search to find something to put it on until I can get another chain, and it's all very, very dramatic for me. But it is, honest to God, the one thing that I really don't feel comfortable leaving home without. Um, that being said, I am pale. I have freckles, cute little freckles across my nose, but I am pale. Um, I live a life of dark rooms, tinted windows on my car. I like things dark and cool. I am not very good at heat and sunlight. It is not I burn very easily, and it is not my wheelhouse. So I am very pale, and I take a lot of supplements to keep my vitamin D up, let's just say. Um, but other than that, I mean, I think that's basically me. I keep my toenails polished. I keep my fingernails long, um, and fake. I keep my nails long and fake. And I fucking love it because I have tiny little hands with tiny little fingers that look like sausages. And if I don't have fingernails to extend them, I basically look like I have doll hands. And that's not cool. It's not cool, guys. So I have long nails, and I keep them painted and acrylic and the whole deal, so that I never lose them. And I think that's about all you would describe me as. Um, I am pretty, but I don't wear a lot of makeup, and I don't put a lot of effort into it. But I have good skin, and I am I'm pretty ish. But I'm definitely not in the gorgeous range. That would be like beyond. But I'm also not cute, you know? So, eh, that's me, I guess. And that was a very fun adventure in trying to figure out how to describe myself, but I hope I gave you guys a good self-portrait. Okay, I got another email requesting help from my audience. So, pay attention. Hi, I really enjoyed y'all's podcast. As a 59-year-old male living in Southern California that identifies as non monogamous, can you please suggest a website or app where I can meet like minded women? I meet women every day in the life, but unfortunately, I don't have the ability to get them to venture into a sex club or lifestyle event. Thanks in advance. Um, okay. The only thing that I can really talk fluently about is FetLife. Um, FetLife has always been my go-to because it is international, and it is a very large pool with events. And the thing is that going solo to an event or going solo to a club can give you introductions to people at the club, and that can lead to parties, which can lead to meet and greets, which can lead to, anyway, not the point. I don't know enough about the scene in Southern California. So, anybody from Southern California, hit me up and let me know what apps you're using. Are you using Field? Are you using Fet the app? And Fet the app is not FetLife. Okay, they're totally different. Fet the app is a dating app for fetish minded people. So it is different than FetLife. FetLife is Facebook for kink, and FET is Tinder for kink. Okay. The field is one that is for playing the field. I don't know. I don't really know if Cassidy is a big one out in Vegas. I don't know if they are out in Southern California, but Cassidy is a good one. Kadsie. And then, but also there are, they're all over the place, and we're getting more and more mainstream every day. So my recommendation, honestly, is to try a few and see where it leads. SLS is actually one that is still very popular and very across the country. So that might be another route. But if you, my Southern California listeners, have any suggestions of apps that are actually working in your area, that are populated by real people who want to play and are open to, getting more members, definitely reach out to me. You can hit me on my socials. You can hit me on my email, pineapplepinuppod@gmail.com. I would love to hear from you and know what is working in your area. Thank you so much for listening today to my podcast, Pineapple Pinup, The Hot Wife Life. I am really hoping that if you have an answer to my listener's question about apps you're using in Southern California, that you do reach out to me on my socials or in my email. My socials are listed in my the description of my show, and my email is pineapplepinuppod@gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed today's show.